The rain outside has been relentless, a steady drum against the window pane that's been my only company for hours. I glanced at the digital clock on the oven. 11:58 p.m. just another Tuesday night, I told myself, trying to ignore the strange sense of unease that had settled over the house like a cold fog. It's funny how your mind plays tricks on you when you're alone. Every creak of the floorboards, every whisper of the wind, it all sounds intentional. The microwave beeped, startling me. Popcorn, a classic companion for a lonely, stormy night. As I pulled the steaming bag out, my eyes caught the clock again. 11:59 p.m., 1 minute to midnight. The witching hour, my grandmother used to call it. She'd tell me stories, her voice a low hush, about how the veil between worlds thins at that exact moment. Silly superstitions, of course, but her words echoed in my head now, louder than they had any right to. I took my bowl of popcorn and settled onto the couch, flicking through streaming services with zero interest. My dog, Buster, who was usually a furry, snoring lump at my feet, was sitting bolt upright, his ears perked. He stared intently at the hallway leading to the bedrooms, a low growl rumbling in his chest. "What is it, boy?" I whispered, my own heart starting to thrum a little faster. He didn't look at me, his gaze fixed on the darkness. Then, the clock on the oven flickered. 12 o'clock a.m. and everything went silent. The rain stopped. The wind died. Even the hum of the refrigerator ceased. The silence was absolute, heavy, and unnatural. It pressed in on me, making the air thick and hard to breathe. Buster's growl stopped, replaced by a soft, terrified whine. He scrambled behind the couch, shivering. That's when I heard it, a single, soft tap. It came from the kitchen window, the one right above the sink. Tap, just one. I held my breath, straining my ears. Maybe it was a branch, but the wind had stopped. Tap, tap, two more, this time a little firmer, more deliberate. My blood ran cold. I slowly peeked over the back of the couch. Through the kitchen doorway, I could see the window. There was nothing there but the rain-streaked glass and the inky blackness of my backyard. I told myself it was my imagination. I was just tired, spooked by the storm and the late hour. I tried to sink back into the couch, to pretend I heard nothing. But then a new sound, a faint melodic humming. It was a children's nursery rhyme, the kind you'd hear from a music box. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. And it was coming from upstairs, from my niece's old room, the room that had been empty for 5 years. The music box hadn't been wound in ages. I know this because I am the one who packed away all her toys after she moved out. The humming was slow, distorted, like the batteries were dying. Each note was a drop of ice water down my spine. My feet felt like lead, but I knew I had to see. I had to know. Buster was whimpering, now fully hidden. I was on my own. I grabbed the heaviest thing I could find, a cast iron skillet from the stove, its weight a pathetic comfort in my trembling hands. Every step I took towards the stairs creaked, each one a cannon shot in the suffocating silence. The humming grew louder as I ascended, the melody becoming clearer, yet more warped. I reached the top of the stairs and peered down the dark hallway. The door to my niece's room was ajar, a sliver of deeper blackness in the gloom. The music was definitely coming from inside. Taking a deep, shaky breath, I pushed the door open. The room was just as I'd left it, covered in a thin layer of dust. Moonlight, now breaking through the clouds, cast long, eerie shadows across the furniture. In the center of the room, on a small wooden table, sat the music box. It was a simple thing, a ballerina on top, and it was open. The ballerina was spinning, her painted-on smile looking grotesque in the pale light. The music was coming from her, but that wasn't what made me scream. It was the shadow she cast on the wall behind her. The moonlight projected her silhouette, but it wasn't the shadow of a tiny plastic ballerina. It was long, thin, and impossibly tall, stretching from the floor to the ceiling. It had long, spindly arms and fingers that looked like claws. And as the ballerina spun to her discordant tune, the shadow on the wall slowly, deliberately, turned its head to look directly at me. It didn't have a face, just a dark, empty void. But I knew it saw me. The music stopped, and in the dead silence, I heard a whisper from the shadow on the wall, a dry, rustling sound that said my name.